trying to agree the rules around the land use sector, which come up with the hideously ugly acronym of LUPHOLE. And this is really what governs logging, and a very large part of the effort of those negotiators has been spent focusing on logging. What's emerged is what you could only describe as a corrupt consensus by Annex 1 countries to create a massive logging loophole. Now, before I go to the details of that, the task here really is to try and resolve these, but what are the possible outcomes? We see three possible outcomes. Either there's a desire to actually do something about this and to close these loopholes. There's a consensus continuing to emerge which would allow those loopholes to be formalised and enshrined, or a third option, which is that negotiators keep negotiating on these issues for the rest of the year. For us and for NGOs everywhere, this issue has been complex, and it's been very hard to get cut-through messaging for the media. But what's proposed here isn't in the least bit subtle. It's nothing short of reversal of the whole presumption of the UNFCCC, a presumption which is that the UNFCCC's purpose is the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions. Instead, Annex 1 countries are rapidly settling on a solution which would allow them to increase logging, which will increase net emissions from Annex 1 forests without having to account for those emissions. This problem is not trivial. 400 megatons of additional emissions per year would be coming from those countries as a result of this loophole. Let me put it in some perspective for you. This is approximately the same as all of the emissions of Spain, about 70% of the emissions from Australia, and just under half of the emissions from Germany. So, who are the big winners under this lottery bonanza that's being proposed? Okay, at the top of the list of countries we'd like to shame over this issue, we have Japan. It gets about 80 megatons. Germany, who has had a proud history of forest conservation and management, stands to gain 75 megatons of loopholes by abandoning effectively their sustainable management policies that they've had in place for nearly 200 years. Of course, Australia, my own country, is a major beneficiary. It looks like it'll get about 50 megatons. And then in order, you've got New Zealand, Finland, Austria and Sweden. Now, you've heard us talk about these countries for a number of years. So the driving force behind these proposals are the people who are looking